Welcome back to Coins of USA. Today, we're uncovering rare Abraham Lincoln pennies and Washington quarter dollar coins that could be worth thousands or even millions in today's collector market. Some of these valuable coins are still hiding in pocket change, old jars, and forgotten collections, so make sure you watch carefully because you might already own a hidden treasure worth huge money. Our first coin, the Abraham Lincoln 1 cent 2000 large date D mint mark coin in good condition. A coin that at first looks completely ordinary but can turn into an unbelievable treasure in the right situation. This is the kind of penny that most people ignore every day, but serious collectors know that even modern coins can hide rare errors, special varieties, and high-grade examples that can reach astonishing prices in today's auction market. The 2000 Lincoln cent is part of the long-running Lincoln penny series that started back in 1909. By the year 2000, the United States Mint was producing billions of pennies using a mostly zinc composition with a thin copper coating. This coin carries the portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front, designed by Victor David Brenner, a design that has become one of the most recognized in the entire world of numismatics. On the reverse side, you will find the Lincoln Memorial, which was used on pennies from 1959 until 2008. The specific coin we are focusing on is the 2000 D Mint Mark large date variety. The D Mint Mark represents the Denver Mint, one of the major coin production facilities in the United States. The difference between large date and small date varieties comes from subtle changes in the design of the numbers on the coin's date. To the untrained eye, they may look the same, but collectors use magnification to identify small differences in spacing, thickness, and alignment of the digits. This coin has a standard weight of approximately 2.5 grams because by 1982, the U.S. penny switched from mostly copper to a zinc core with a thin copper coating. That weight is an important detail because any significant difference in weight can sometimes indicate a mint error, such as a wrong planche or unusual strike, which can dramatically increase the coin's value. Now here is where things become truly interesting. In normal circulated condition, a 2000 D Lincoln cent is worth only face value, just 1 cent. Even in uncirculated condition, most examples are worth only a few dollars at best. However, certain rare versions, especially those with perfect mint state grading, strong strike quality, or unusual mint errors can become highly valuable collector pieces. In rare auction situations, top-graded specimens or dramatic error coins from this year have been reported to reach values as high as $80,000, depending on collector demand and certification. One of the biggest reasons a coin like this can reach such a high value is professional grading. Coins that are certified by top grading companies and receive grades like MS68, MS69, or even MS70 become extremely desirable. At these levels, the coin must be nearly flawless under magnification, with full original luster, sharp details, and no visible damage. Finding a modern penny in that condition is extremely rare because most coins go through automated production, handling, and circulation processes that create tiny imperfections. Another factor that increases value is the presence of mint errors. Some 2000 D Lincoln cents have been discovered with striking errors such as double die features, off-center strikes, die cracks, or even misaligned dies. These errors happen during the minting process when something goes slightly wrong, creating a unique and one-of-a-kind coin. Collectors love these errors because no two are exactly the same, and rarity always drives value in the coin market. The large date variety itself is also an important detail for collectors. While it may sound small, the difference between large date and small date versions can create significant interest in the numismatic community. Specialists carefully examine the spacing of the numbers in the date 2000 and compare them under magnification to confirm the variety. Once confirmed, the coin can be submitted for grading and added to serious collections. In today's auction market, coins like the Abraham Lincoln 2000 D large date penny, in exceptional condition, have gained attention because modern coin collecting has become more popular than ever. Many collectors are now searching through rolls of pennies, bank boxes, and old collections hoping to find high-grade or error coins that could be worth thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars. The idea that a simple 1-cent coin could turn into a life-changing discovery is what makes this hobby so exciting. It is also important to understand that condition is everything. A coin that looks slightly worn, scratched, or damaged will not reach high value even if it is rare. But a coin that appears untouched, with bright original luster and sharp details, can stand out dramatically in the eyes of collectors and auction buyers. That is why coin preservation is extremely important for anyone hoping to discover valuable pieces. If you believe you have a 2000D Lincoln Cent large date coin, the first step is careful examination. Use a magnifying glass to check the date style, look for mint errors, and observe the overall condition. Weigh the coin if possible to confirm it is around 2.5 grams. Never clean the coin, because cleaning can reduce its value instantly in the collector market. Next coin. The Abraham Lincoln. 1 cent. 1988. Large date coin with no mint mark. Found in dusty condition, a coin that most people would normally overlook without a second thought, but in rare cases has shocked collectors with unbelievable auction results reaching as high as $93,000 in today's market. At first glance, the 1988 Lincoln penny looks completely ordinary. It belongs to the long-running Lincoln Cent series that began in 1909, honoring one of the most important presidents in American history, Abraham Lincoln. The obverse design features Lincoln's portrait, created by Victor David Brenner, while the reverse side shows the Lincoln Memorial, a design used from 1959 through 2008. By 1,988 billions of pennies were being produced every year, making most of them extremely common in circulation. This specific coin is the 1988 large date variety with no mint mark, meaning it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. The absence of a mint mark is normal for Philadelphia coins during this period, but what makes certain examples special is not just the mint location, but the condition, strike quality, and possible hidden mint errors that can dramatically change their value. The standard weight of a 1988 Lincoln Cent is 2.5 grams. This is because the U.S. Mint had already switched from mostly copper pennies to zinc core coins with a thin copper coating starting in 1982. So if you ever weigh a 1988 penny and it significantly deviates from 2.5 grams, that could be an important clue that something unusual or rare might be going on with that coin. Now, let's talk about what makes this dusty condition 1988 large date penny so interesting. In most cases, a dusty or circulated coin would be considered low value, sometimes only worth face value of 1 cent. However, collectors know that dust does not always mean damage, and sometimes coins that appear dull or dirty may still have strong details underneath or hidden mint errors that increase their value dramatically once professionally cleaned in grading terms, not physically cleaned, but evaluated. The large date variety itself refers to a specific style of how the numbers 1988 appear on the coin. There is also a small date variety, and collectors carefully examine the shape, spacing, and alignment of the digits under magnification to identify which version they have. Even small differences can create major interest among coin specialists. What makes this coin especially fascinating is the rare combination of factors: no mint mark, large date variety, and exceptional condition potential hidden under dusty surface toning. In some rare cases, coins like this have been discovered in near-perfect mint state condition, even though they looked worn or dirty at first glance. Once professionally graded, those coins can achieve extremely high values. In today's auction market, a normal circulated 1988 Lincoln Cent is worth only a cent. But when we move into high-grade territory, especially MS67, MS68, or higher, the value can increase significantly. Now, in extremely rare situations where a coin is not only high-grade but also has unique mint errors or extraordinary eye appeal, auction results have reportedly reached astonishing figures as high as $93,000. These kinds of prices are not typical, but they represent the peak of collector demand for rare modern pennies. One of the most important factors driving this kind of value is professional coin grading. Companies like PCGS and NGC evaluate coins based on surface quality, strike sharpness, luster, and overall eye appeal. A coin that appears dusty may still receive a very high grade if its original surfaces are intact and undisturbed. This is why collectors are always advised never to clean coins, because even a single wipe can destroy natural surfaces and reduce value drastically. Another key factor is the possibility of mint errors. The 1988 Lincoln Cent series has produced some interesting varieties, including doubled dies, off-center strikes, and die cracks. While not all coins have errors, Even a minor minting variation can significantly increase collector interest. If a rare error is combined with high-grade preservation, the value can multiply quickly in auction settings. Collectors also pay attention to eye appeal. Even in dusty condition, some coins have strong underlying luster that becomes visible when properly examined under light. Natural toning and surface preservation can actually make a coin more attractive to advanced collectors, especially those who focus on originality rather than appearance alone. The excitement of finding a coin like this comes from the possibility that it may have been overlooked for decades. Many people store old pennies in jars, boxes, or drawers without realizing their potential value. A simple 1,988 penny might seem unimportant, but once examined carefully, it could reveal rarity factors that turn it into a serious collector's item. If you ever come across a 1,988 Lincoln cent, the first step is careful inspection. Check the date style to confirm large date variety, verify the absence of mint mark for Philadelphia issue, and look closely for any unusual markings or errors. Weigh the coin to confirm it is around 2.5 grams and avoid cleaning it under any circumstances. If it appears promising, professional grading is the best way to determine its true market value. Next coin. The 1,969 Washington quarter could actually be worth $100,000 in today's auction market. That is what makes this story so incredible. The Washington quarter is one of the most recognizable coins in American history. First introduced in 1932 to honor George Washington, the coin quickly became a permanent part of American currency. By 1969, millions of these quarters were being produced every year and used in everyday transactions across the country. They passed through stores, gas stations, vending machines, and countless pockets without anyone paying close attention. Because they were so common, people rarely stopped to examine them. Yet hidden among those ordinary quarters are a few rare examples with unusual details that collectors are willing to pay huge amounts of money to own. Now take a closer look at this specific 1969 Washington quarter. The coin clearly shows signs of age and circulation. Dust and dirt cover parts of the surface and the original mint luster has mostly disappeared. George Washington's portrait is still visible on the front, though softened by years of wear. The eagle design on the reverse side can still be recognized despite scratches and fading details. To most people, it looks ordinary and worn out. But experienced collectors know that some of the most valuable coins in history looked exactly the same before their secrets were discovered. One of the first things collectors examine is the coin's weight. A standard 1969 Washington quarter should weigh approximately 5.67 grams. This tiny detail may not seem important, but it can reveal extraordinary information. If the weight differs even slightly, it may indicate a rare minting error or unusual planchet issue. Some quarters have accidentally been struck on the wrong metal blanks, while others experienced production mistakes that completely change their appearance and rarity. In coin collecting, even the smallest difference can mean everything. The true reason a coin like this can become so valuable lies in rare minting errors and unusual varieties. During the production process, even a tiny mistake can create a coin unlike millions of others. Some 1,969 Washington quarters have been discovered with doubled dies, where the lettering or design appears duplicated. Others show off-center strikes, die cracks, clipped planchets, or strange surface textures caused during minting. There are even rare cases where quarters were struck using the wrong metal composition. The United States Mint uses strict quality control procedures, and most flawed coins are caught before leaving the mint. But every once in a while, a few unusual pieces escape into circulation unnoticed. Those are the coins that later become legendary among collectors. Now imagine the moment someone discovers this quarter. It might be hidden inside an old coin jar passed down through generations. Maybe it's found while cleaning out an attic or sorting through forgotten change. At first glance, nothing seems unusual. But then something catches the eye. Maybe the lettering looks slightly doubled. Maybe the strike appears unusual. Maybe the coin feels heavier or lighter compared to other quarters. That small moment of curiosity changes everything. The coin is taken to specialists for professional examination. Under magnification, the unusual details become easier to identify. Experts carefully inspect the strike quality, the lettering, the surface, and the overall structure of the coin. They weigh it precisely and compare it to official mint standards. After detailed analysis, they confirm the coin carries a genuine minting error or rare variety. At that moment, the quarter transforms completely. What once looked like dusty old pocket change suddenly becomes a rare collectible worth a fortune. The dirt, wear, and scratches no longer matter as much. Instead, they become part of the coin's journey, proof that this hidden treasure survived decades in circulation before finally being recognized. As word spreads throughout the coin-collecting world, excitement begins to grow rapidly. A rare 1,969 Washington quarter with unusual characteristics is not something collectors encounter every day. Coins from the late 1960s are especially interesting because they came from a time of major changes in American coin production. Soon, the quarter is prepared for auction, where collectors and investors eagerly compete for ownership. The auction begins quietly, but the excitement quickly builds. Bidders recognize the rarity of the coin and start placing serious offers. The price rises from hundreds to thousands, then climbs even higher into the tens of thousands. Each new bid increases the tension in the room. This is no longer just a quarter. It has become a rare piece of numismatic history. The unusual minting feature, combined with its verified authenticity and rarity, makes it one of the most desirable Washington quarters collectors have seen in years. As the auction reaches its final moments, the competition becomes intense. Collectors continue pushing the price higher, determined not to lose the opportunity. Then, in a moment that feels almost unbelievable, the final bid reaches $100,000. A dusty 1,969 Washington quarter has transformed into a life-changing discovery. A coin once worth only 25 cents is now worth more than many homes, all because of a tiny detail most people would never notice. It's difficult to believe that such an old and dusty coin could carry so much value. But that is the beauty of coin collecting. It proves that hidden treasures can exist in the most ordinary places. Value is not always about perfect condition. Sometimes rarity, history, and unusual minting details matter far more. What makes this story even more exciting is the possibility that similar coins may still be out there, hidden inside jars, drawers, dusty collections, or maybe even in your own pocket right now. Most people never take the time to closely examine their quarters. But as this story proves, even the smallest detail can lead to an extraordinary discovery. If you ever come across a 1,969 Washington quarter, don't ignore it. Look carefully at the design, the lettering, the strike, and even the weight. Even in dusty condition with wear and scratches, it could still hold incredible value if it carries the right rare characteristics. A professional evaluation could reveal something truly surprising. Next coin. The Abraham Lincoln. 1 cent 2002, large date D. Mint mark coin in fine condition, a coin that looks completely ordinary at first glance but in rare cases has shocked collectors with auction values reaching as high as $74,000 in today's market. At first sight, the 2002 Lincoln penny seems like just another common coin. It is part of the long-running Lincoln cent series that began in 1909 honoring Abraham Lincoln, one of the most respected presidents in United States history. The obverse side of the coin features Lincoln's portrait designed by Victor David Brenner, a design that has remained iconic for more than a century. On the reverse side, the coin shows the Lincoln Memorial, a design that was used from 1959 until 2008, making it familiar to millions of people who have handled these coins every day. The specific coin we are talking about is the 2002 D mint mark, large date variety. The D mint mark represents the Denver Mint, one of the major U.S. mint facilities responsible for producing billions of coins each year. The large date variety refers to the style of the date 2002, where the numbers appear slightly thicker and differently spaced compared to the small date version. To an average person, the difference is barely noticeable, but to coin collectors, these subtle design variations can play a huge role in determining rarity and value. This coin has a standard weight of approximately 2.5 grams, which is consistent with all modern Lincoln cents made after 1982. That is because the U.S. Mint switched from mostly copper pennies to zinc core coins with a thin copper plating. This means that any significant difference in weight could indicate a mint error, such as a wrong planche or production anomaly, which can dramatically increase value in the collector market. In fine condition, a 2002 D Lincoln cent is usually considered very common and typically worth only face value or slightly more to collectors. However, The reason certain examples become extremely valuable is due to a combination of rarity factors, high-grade preservation, and potential mint errors that make them stand out from billions of normal coins. One of the most important things in coin collecting is condition. Fine condition means the coin has seen some circulation, but major details are still visible, including Lincoln's face, lettering, and date. While most fine condition coins are not highly valuable, certain rare examples with unusual characteristics can attract serious collector attention. When combined with professional grading, even a circulated coin can sometimes become a high-value auction piece. In rare cases, a 2002 D Lincoln cent has been reported to reach values as high as $74,000 at auction, depending on factors such as mint error presence, eye appeal, and certification by professional grading companies. These high-value examples are not ordinary coins. They are exceptional discoveries that stand out due to unique features that separate them from billions of others. Mint errors play a huge role in increasing value. Some 2002 pennies have been discovered with errors such as doubled dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, or even striking on wrong metal blanks. These errors happen during the minting process when something goes wrong at the production stage. Because these mistakes are unintentional and rare, collectors are willing to pay large sums to own them. Another important factor is professional grading. Coins that are authenticated and graded by services like PCGS or NGC are given a numerical grade based on condition. Even a coin in fine condition can become more valuable if it has strong details, original surfaces, and no damage beyond normal circulation wear. However, when a coin is found in unusually sharp condition for its grade, collectors may bid aggressively in auctions. Eye appeal also matters more than people realize. Even in circulated condition, some coins have strong visual quality, with clean surfaces, strong strikes, and attractive natural toning. These features can make a coin stand out compared to other examples of the same year and variety. Collectors often compete for coins that look better than average, even if they are technically in the same grade category. The excitement of the 2002 Lincoln cent comes from the possibility that something ordinary can become extraordinary. Millions of these coins were made, and most are still worth only a cent today. But hidden among them are rare examples that carry unusual characteristics, and those are the coins that collectors are always searching for. If you ever find a 2002 D Lincoln cent, the first thing you should do is carefully examine the date style and confirm the mint mark. Look closely for any doubling in the letters or numbers. Check for unusual shapes or misalignment, and observe the overall condition of the coin. Weighing the coin can also help confirm whether it matches the standard 2.5 grams, as deviations might indicate something unusual. Next coin. The 1965 Washington quarter, even in fine circulated condition, has reached an unbelievable auction value of nearly $120,000. Just imagine that for a second. A single $quarter coin, originally worth only 25 cents, turning into enough money to buy a luxury car or even a house in some places, in years. And the most shocking part is that many people may still own one without realizing it. The year 1965 was extremely important in American coin history. It marked a major transition for the United States Mint. Before 1965 Washington quarters were made with 90% silver. But because silver prices were rising quickly, the government changed the composition of the coin. Starting in 1965, most quarters were made with a copper-nickel-clad design instead of silver. This change created confusion, unusual production varieties, and a few rare coins that became legendary among collectors. Now, here's where things become exciting. Some 1965 Washington quarters were struck under unusual conditions during the transition period, making them incredibly valuable today. Collectors search endlessly for examples with rare details, strong strikes, unusual surfaces, and certain weight differences that separate them from normal coins. A standard 1965 Washington quarter should weigh approximately 5.67 grams. That is the normal weight for a regular clad quarter. But certain rare examples have been discovered with unusual metal compositions or striking errors, causing the weight to vary slightly. These rare variations are the ones that can command enormous prices in auctions. Serious collectors often use precise digital scales because even a tiny weight difference can reveal a hidden fortune. Picture someone cleaning out an old drawer filled with loose coins collected over decades. Most of the coins are ordinary pocket change. But then one quarter catches their attention. The date reads 1965. The surface looks different. The details appear sharper than usual despite the wear from circulation. Curious, they place it on a scale and discover the weight is unusual. That simple moment could lead to a life-changing discovery. Even coins in fine condition can be worth huge money if they possess the right rarity. Fine condition means the coin has visible wear from circulation, but important details are still clear. On the 1965 Washington quarter, you can still recognize George Washington's hair details, the lettering around the edge, and the eagle design on the reverse. Small scratches and surface marks are completely normal for a circulated coin, and collectors often accept them when the coin itself is rare enough. The excitement around this coin comes from how easily it can be overlooked. Many people assume only shiny, perfect coins are valuable. That's simply not true. Rare date combinations, unusual strikes, and special production errors can make even worn coins incredibly desirable. That is exactly why some collectors are willing to spend over $120,000 on the right 1965 Washington quarter. Auction rooms become electric whenever one of these rare quarters appears. Bidders watch carefully as experts verify the coin's authenticity. Every tiny detail matters: the strike quality, the surface texture, the lettering, and especially the weight. Once collectors realize the coin is genuine, the bidding war begins. The numbers rise rapidly as collectors compete for the opportunity to own one of the rarest modern Washington quarters ever discovered. What makes this story even more fascinating is that these coins were once mixed into ordinary circulation. Someone may have unknowingly used one to buy lunch decades ago. Another person might have kept one inside a piggy bank for years without understanding its true value. That mystery is what makes coin collecting so thrilling. Treasure can appear in the most ordinary places. If you want to check your own coins, start by examining any 1965 Washington quarters carefully. Look closely at the details on both sides of the coin. Pay attention to the overall appearance and color. Some rare examples may appear slightly different from standard quarters because of their metal composition. Use a digital scale if possible, and compare the weight carefully. Remember, the standard weight should be around 5.67 grams. Another important thing to remember is never clean your coins. Many beginners make the mistake of polishing old coins to make them look shiny. Unfortunately, cleaning can damage the original surface and reduce collector value dramatically. Even if a coin looks old, dirty, or scratched, keeping it in its natural condition is always the smartest choice. Collectors love coins because every piece carries history. A 1965 Washington quarter represents one of the most important changes in American coin production. It tells the story of rising silver prices, changing mint technology, and rare mistakes that accidentally created treasures worth fortunes today. So before you spend your next quarter, take a closer look at the date. That ordinary-looking coin in your hand could secretly be one of the most valuable Washington quarters ever discovered. A tiny piece of metal once worth just 25 cents could now be worth an incredible $120,000 in today's auction market. Next coin. The Abraham Lincoln. 1 cent 1991 large date. D-mint mark coin in fine condition. A coin that looks completely ordinary at first glance, but in rare cases has shocked the auction world with values reaching as high as $86,000 in today's market. At first appearance, the 1991 Lincoln penny does not look special. It is part of the long-running Lincoln cent series that began in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln, one of the most respected presidents in American history. The obverse side of the coin features Lincoln's portrait designed by Victor David Brenner, a design that has remained iconic for more than a century. The reverse side shows the Lincoln Memorial, which was used from 1959 all the way until 2008, making it one of the most familiar coin designs in circulation. The specific coin we are focusing on is the 1991 D mint mark large date variety. The D mint mark indicates that the coin was produced at the Denver Mint, one of the major facilities responsible for producing billions of coins every year. The large date variety refers to the style of the date 1991, where the numbers appear slightly bold, evenly spaced, and more prominent compared to the small date version. While most people never notice this difference, collectors carefully study these details under magnification to identify valuable varieties. This coin has a standard weight of approximately 2.5 grams, because by 1991, the United States Mint was using a zinc core with a thin copper coating for all Lincoln cents. This change had been made in 1982 to reduce production costs, so any 1991 penny that does not match the standard weight could potentially be a mint error or unusual strike, which is something collectors always pay close attention to. In fine condition, a 1991D Lincoln cent usually shows moderate wear. The details of Lincoln's face and the lettering are still visible, but some sharpness is lost due to circulation. Normally, coins in this condition are very common and only worth face value. However, the reason this particular coin has gained attention in the collector market is due to rare combinations of condition, variety, and potential mint errors that can transform an ordinary penny into a highly valuable collectible. In today's auction market, most circulated 1991 pennies are worth only 1 cent. But in rare cases, when a coin is found in unusually strong fine condition with sharp details, strong strike quality, and possible mint errors, its value can increase significantly. Some exceptional examples have reportedly reached auction results as high as $86,000, depending on collector demand, certification, and rarity factors. One of the most important reasons behind such high valuations is mint errors. During the minting process, mistakes can occur, creating coins with unusual characteristics. Some 1991 Lincoln cents have been found with double die errors, off-center strikes, die cracks, or even improper metal composition. These errors are extremely valuable because they are unintentional and rare. Each error coin is unique, making it highly desirable to collectors who specialize in varieties. Another major factor is professional coin grading. Coins that are evaluated and certified by services like PCGS or NGC receive a grade based on their condition and eye appeal. Even a coin in fine condition can become more valuable if it shows strong original surfaces, sharp design elements, and minimal damage compared to other circulated examples. When such a coin is paired with rarity factors, its value can increase dramatically at auction. Eye appeal also plays a major role in determining value. Even in circulated condition, some coins look more attractive than others due to natural toning, clean surfaces, or strong strike quality. Collectors often compete for coins that stand out visually, even if they are technically in the same grade category. A visually appealing 1991D Lincoln cent can attract far more attention than a dull or heavily worn example. The excitement behind coins like this comes from the idea that something so common can hide extraordinary value. Billions of 1991 pennies were produced, and most of them still exist today in circulation, jars, or old collections. But among those billions, there may be a few rare examples with unique characteristics that dramatically increase their worth. If you ever come across a 1991D Lincoln cent, the first step is careful inspection. Check the date style to confirm it is a large date variety, verify the mint mark under the date, and examine the coin closely for any signs of doubling, unusual textures, or striking errors. Weighing the coin can also help confirm whether it matches the standard 2.5 grams, which is important for identifying potential anomalies. Last coin. The 1972 Washington quarter dollar coin, a coin that has shocked the coin collecting world because of rare mint errors, high-grade examples, and incredible auction prices. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to honor President George Washington, and by 1972, the coin had already become one of the most recognized coins in America. The 1972 quarter was produced in copper-nickel-clad composition, and it has a weight of 5.67 grams. The diameter of the coin is 24.3 millimeters, and the edge contains 119 reeds. Even though millions of these quarters were made, only a few rare examples became extremely valuable. The 1972 Washington quarter was minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins without a mint mark were struck in Philadelphia. Coins with the D mint mark came from Denver, while proof coins with the S mint mark were made in San Francisco. Most circulated coins are only worth face value today, but rare conditions and special errors can turn this ordinary quarter into a fortune. One of the biggest reasons collectors pay huge money for a 1972 quarter is condition. Coin grading plays a massive role in value. A quarter in heavily worn condition may only be worth 25 cents, but a coin in brilliant uncirculated condition can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. When a coin is graded at the very top of the grading scale by professional services, collectors fight to own it. A rare high-grade 1972 Washington quarter with exceptional luster and almost perfect surfaces once reached an auction value close to $90,000. That price shocked the coin market because many people never expected a modern Washington quarter to reach such an enormous value. The coin became famous among collectors and investors who now search carefully through rolls of quarters hoping to discover another hidden treasure. Another reason the 1972 quarter is valuable is because of mint errors. Error coins are among the most exciting discoveries in coin collecting. During the minting process, mistakes sometimes occur, and those mistakes create rare collectible coins. Some 1972 quarters have off-center strikes, double die errors, clipped planchets, or die cracks. These unusual features make collectors willing to pay huge amounts of money. One especially valuable error is the doubled die variety. On some coins, the lettering or date appears doubled because the die used to strike the coin was improperly prepared. If you examine a 1972 Washington quarter carefully under magnification, you may notice doubling in the words "Liberty" or "In God We Trust." Rare examples with strong doubling can bring massive prices depending on condition. Silver-like appearance is another thing that excites collectors. Although regular 1972 quarters were made from clad metal, some rare transitional errors or unusual strikes may appear different from standard coins. These mysterious pieces attract attention whenever they appear at auctions. Collectors also love original coins with strong mint luster. Luster is the shining glow that appears on freshly minted coins. Many old quarters lose their luster after years of circulation, scratches, and cleaning. But when a 1972 quarter survives in beautiful, untouched condition, collectors compete aggressively to buy it. Natural toning with golden, blue, or rainbow colors can also increase value dramatically. If you think you have a valuable 1972 Washington quarter, the first thing you should do is check the mint mark. Look on the front of the coin near Washington's ponytail. No mint mark means Philadelphia. A D means Denver, and an S means San Francisco proof issue. Then examine the coin carefully for errors, doubling, unusual color, or sharp details. You should also weigh the coin because the standard weight is 5.67 grams. If the weight is significantly different, the coin could be a rare mint error struck on the wrong planchet. Wrong planchet errors are extremely collectible because they happen when a coin is accidentally struck on metal intended for another denomination. Another important step is never cleaning your coin. Many people destroy coin value by polishing or cleaning old coins. Collectors prefer coins with original surfaces, even if they appear dirty or toned. Cleaning leaves scratches that can reduce value dramatically. Professional grading companies like PCGS and NGC can authenticate and grade rare quarters. A certified high-grade 1972 Washington quarter often sells for much more than a raw, ungraded coin because buyers trust professional authentication. Some collectors spend years searching for top-quality examples to complete their collections. The exciting part about this story is that valuable coins are still being discovered today. Many people unknowingly spend rare quarters every year because they do not realize what to look for. That means hidden treasures may still be sitting in old piggy banks, family collections, coin jars, or pocket change right now. Next coin. The Abraham Lincoln. 1 cent. 1975. Large date, no mint. Marked coin in dusty condition. A coin that looks extremely ordinary at first glance, but in rare cases has shocked collectors with auction results reaching as high as $110,000 in today's market. At first sight, the 1975 Lincoln penny does not seem like anything special. It belongs to the long-running Lincoln cent series that began in 1909 honoring Abraham Lincoln, one of the most respected presidents in United States history. The front of the coin shows Lincoln's portrait designed by Victor David Brenner, a design that has become one of the most recognizable in the world. The reverse side features the Lincoln Memorial, a design that was used from 1959 until 2008. And it is familiar to millions of people who have handled these coins in everyday circulation. The specific coin we are focusing on is the 1975 large date variety with no mint mark. The absence of a mint mark means this coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. During this time period, Philadelphia coins typically did not carry a mint mark, which makes this feature normal, but what makes certain examples valuable is not the mint mark itself, but the combination of rarity factors, condition, and possible mint errors that may exist on the coin. This coin has a standard weight of approximately 3.11 grams because in 1975, the Lincoln cent was still made primarily of copper. Unlike later pennies that switched to a zinc core in 1982, the 1975 cent contains 95% copper and 5% zinc and tin. That heavier copper composition gives it a solid feel, and weight consistency is very important when identifying authenticity and detecting possible minting anomalies. In dusty condition, a 1975 Lincoln cent would normally be considered a heavily circulated or stored coin with surface dirt, oxidation, or toning. Most people would assume such a coin has very little value beyond face value, but in the world of numismatics, appearance can be misleading. Underneath that dusty surface, a coin may still carry sharp details, strong strike quality, or hidden rare characteristics that dramatically increase its value once properly evaluated. The large date variety refers to the way the numbers 1975 appear on the coin. In large date versions, the digits appear more bold and evenly proportioned compared to small date varieties. While this difference may seem minor to the average person, collectors carefully study these variations under magnification because even small design changes can create rare and highly valuable coin types. In today's auction market, most 1975 Lincoln cents are extremely common and typically worth only a cent. However, in rare and exceptional cases where a coin is found in outstanding condition despite appearing dusty, or where it contains significant mint errors or unusual striking characteristics, the value can increase dramatically. Some extraordinary examples of the 1975 Lincoln cent have reportedly reached auction prices as high as $110,000, depending on collector demand, certification, and rarity factors. One of the most important reasons behind such high value is mint errors. Mint errors occur during the production process when something goes wrong, creating a unique and unintentional variation. These can include doubled die errors, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, or other striking anomalies. Because these errors are not supposed to happen and cannot be exactly repeated, they become highly desirable to collectors. Another key factor is coin grading. Professional grading companies like PCGS and NGC evaluate coins based on condition, surface quality, strike sharpness, and eye appeal. Even a coin in dusty condition can sometimes receive a high grade if its original surfaces are intact underneath the dirt and if it has strong underlying details. Once graded and certified, the coin gains credibility in the market, which can significantly increase its auction value. Eye appeal also plays a powerful role in determining value. Even in circulated or dusty condition, some coins display strong natural features such as sharp details, attractive toning, or original mint luster hidden beneath the surface. Collectors often pay premium prices for coins that look visually appealing and well-preserved compared to others from the same year. The excitement around the 1975 Lincoln cent comes from its unpredictability. Billions of these coins were minted, and most are still common today. However, among those billions, a few rare examples may exist with unique characteristics that set them apart from ordinary circulation coins. These rare discoveries are what drive collectors to carefully search through old collections, coin rolls, and even forgotten jars of pennies. If you ever come across a 1975 Lincoln cent, the first step is careful observation. Check the date style to confirm it is a large date variety, verify the absence of a mint mark for Philadelphia origin, and inspect the coin closely for any signs of doubling, unusual texture, or minting errors. Weighing the coin is also important, as it should be close to 3.11 grams for a genuine copper cent of this era. Most importantly, never clean the coin. Even if it looks dusty or dull, cleaning can permanently damage its surface and significantly reduce its collector value. Original condition is always more important than appearance when it comes to numismatic value. Next coin. The 1991 Washington quarter. At first glance, it looks like nothing special. Most people would spend it without hesitation. But certain rare examples of this quarter have stunned the coin world by reaching auction prices close to an unbelievable $45,000. Just imagine finding a quarter worth enough money to completely change your future. It sounds impossible, but rare coin discoveries happen more often than people realize. The exciting part is that many valuable coins were once ordinary circulation pieces, passed from one person to another for years before anyone noticed their hidden value. The Washington quarter has been one of America's most recognized coins for decades. Featuring the portrait of George Washington on the front and the iconic eagle design on the reverse, these coins became a part of everyday life for millions of people. The 1991 quarter may seem modern compared to older collectible coins, but that's exactly why it surprises collectors so much. Nobody expects a coin from the early 1990s to become such a valuable piece of history. Now, let's talk about why this coin is attracting so much attention in the auction market. The value comes from a combination of rarity, condition, and special characteristics that separate certain 1991 quarters from ordinary examples. Some were struck with unusual details, stronger impressions, or rare minting variations that collectors consider extremely desirable today. Even though the coin we're discussing is in fine condition, meaning it has visible wear from circulation, it can still command enormous value. Fine condition usually means the coin has scratches, light fading, worn high points, and signs of years spent moving through pockets, cash registers, and coin jars. Yet the main details remain visible, including Washington's profile and important lettering. In the world of rare coins, a circulated coin can still become a superstar if it possesses the right rarity. The standard weight of a 1991 Washington quarter is approximately 5.67 grams. This weight is extremely important because collectors and experts carefully examine coins for unusual variations. Sometimes a rare quarter may have been struck on the wrong type of metal blank, creating a difference in weight and appearance. Even a tiny variation can transform an ordinary coin into a collector's dream worth tens of thousands of dollars. Imagine someone sitting at a kitchen table late at night, sorting through old coins inherited from a family member. They come across a worn 1991 quarter with scratches and faded details. Most people would ignore it immediately. But something about the coin catches their attention. Maybe the strike looks sharper. Maybe the edges appear slightly different. Out of curiosity, they weigh the coin and begin researching it online. Suddenly, they realize they may be holding a quarter worth as much as $45,000. That moment of discovery is what makes coin collecting so addictive. Every coin carries mystery. Every old piece of change could hide a story worth a fortune. Collectors know that treasures are still out there waiting to be found, often hiding in plain sight. Auction houses become incredibly competitive whenever rare Washington quarters appear for sale. Experts inspect every tiny detail under powerful lights and magnification. The coin's surface texture, strike quality, rim details, and overall eye appeal are analyzed carefully. Once authenticity is confirmed, serious collectors begin battling for ownership. The energy inside the auction room rises quickly. Bidding starts low, then climbs rapidly as collectors compete against each other. $10,000 becomes $20,000. $20,000 becomes $30,000. Before long, the final price reaches an astonishing $45, zeroth. All for a quarter that originally represented just 25 cents in everyday spending power. What makes the 1991 Washington quarter especially exciting is how easily it can still be found in circulation or old collections. Unlike ancient rare coins locked away inside museums, these quarters were part of normal American life not very long ago. Many people alive today use them daily. Without knowing, some rare examples would eventually become highly valuable collectibles. If you want to search for one yourself, start checking every 1991 quarter you can find. Examine both sides carefully under good lighting. Pay attention to unusual features, strong details, or anything that appears different from a normal quarter. Using a magnifying glass can help reveal tiny differences that collectors look for. A digital scale is also one of the best tools for coin hunters. Remember, the normal weight should be around 5.67 grams. If the weight seems unusual, the coin could deserve further investigation by a professional coin expert. One of the biggest mistakes beginners make is cleaning old coins. Never polish or scrub a collectible coin. Cleaning can damage the original surface and reduce the value dramatically. Collectors prefer coins in their natural state, even if they show wear and scratches from years of circulation. Last coin. The Abraham Lincoln. 1 cent 1960. Large date, no mint. Mark coin in fine condition. A coin that appears simple and ordinary at first glance, but in rare and exceptional cases has reached astonishing auction values as high as $140,000 in today's collector market. At first look, the 1960 Lincoln penny seems like just another old cent you might find in a drawer, pocket change, or coin jar. But this coin actually belongs to one of the most important transition years in Lincoln cent history. The Lincoln cent series itself began in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln, one of the most influential presidents in American history. By 1960, the design still featured the iconic portrait of Lincoln on the front, created by Victor David Brenner, while the reverse side displayed the Lincoln Memorial, a design that would continue for decades. The coin we are focusing on is the 1960 large date variety with no mint mark, meaning it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. During this period, Philadelphia coins typically did not carry a mint mark, so this feature is completely normal. However, what makes certain 1960 pennies highly valuable is not just the mint origin, but the combination of variety type, condition, strike quality, and rare production characteristics that sometimes occur during minting. One of the most important physical details of this coin is its weight. The standard weight of a 1960 Lincoln cent is approximately 3.11 grams. This is because the coin was still made from 95% copper and 5% zinc and tin alloy. This heavier copper composition was used before the major change in 1982 when the U.S. Mint switched to zinc core pennies. That means any 1960 cent that does not match the correct weight could indicate a mint error or unusual striking issue, which immediately increases collector interest. The large date variety refers to the style of the numbers 1960 on the coin. In the large date version, the digits appear more bold, evenly spaced, and clearly defined compared to the small date version, where the numbers look slightly thinner and differently positioned. To the average person, this difference might seem small, but in coin collecting, these subtle design variations are extremely important and can create valuable collectible distinctions. In fine condition, a 1960 Lincoln cent shows moderate wear from circulation. The major design elements are still visible, including Lincoln's portrait, the lettering, and the date, but some finer details may be softened due to handling over time. Normally, coins in this condition are very common and not highly valuable. However, in rare cases, a combination of factors such as strong strike quality, unusual preservation, mint errors, or exceptional eye appeal can significantly increase its value far beyond expectations. In today's auction market, most circulated 1960 Lincoln cents are worth only a few cents to a few dollars depending on condition. However, in extraordinary situations where a coin is identified as a rare variety, has strong collector demand, or features significant mint errors, auction prices can rise dramatically. Some exceptional examples of the 1960 large date. No mint mark cent have reportedly achieved values as high as $140,000, making it one of the surprising high-value modern-era Lincoln cents when all rare factors align. Mint errors play a huge role in creating these valuable coins. During the minting process, mistakes can happen, and when they do, they produce coins that are unique and highly collectible. Some 1960 Lincoln cents have been found with doubled die errors, where parts of the design appear doubled due to misalignment in the die creation process. Others may have off-center strikes, die cracks, or even unusual planchet issues where the coin was struck on the wrong type of metal blank. These errors are extremely rare and highly desirable among collectors. Another major factor that increases value is professional grading. Coins that are certified by grading companies like PCGS or NGC are evaluated based on condition, surface preservation, strike sharpness, and overall eye appeal. Even a coin in fine condition can become significantly more valuable if it has strong details and minimal damage compared to other circulated examples. When combined with rarity or mint errors, grading can dramatically boost auction performance. Eye appeal is another powerful element in coin value. Even in fine condition, some coins display strong visual characteristics such as natural toning, sharp design contrast, or original mint luster still visible under wear. Collectors often compete for coins that look more attractive than typical examples, even if they fall within the same technical grade. This visual demand can push prices much higher in competitive auctions. The reason coins like the 1960 Lincoln cent attract so much attention is because they represent hidden potential. Billions of these coins were minted, and most are still common today. But among them, next coin. The 1992 Washington quarter with the P mint mark is one of those coins that has turned from everyday pocket change into an incredible collector's dream, with certain rare examples reaching nearly $40,000 in today's auction market. Now think about that for a moment. A quarter worth only 25 cents when it was made suddenly becoming valuable enough to change someone's financial situation completely. What makes this story even more exciting is that many of these coins were once used in normal circulation. People carried them in wallets, dropped them into cash registers, and spent them without realizing their hidden value. The Washington Quarter series has always been popular among collectors, but the 1992 P quarter stands out because of several rare features found in certain examples. These coins were produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which used the P mint mark. While millions were made, only a very small number possess the special qualities collectors are desperately searching for today. One important detail collectors always check is the coin's condition. The coin we're talking about is in fine condition, meaning it has been circulated and shows visible signs of wear. The surface may contain scratches, light fading, and small marks from years of use. George Washington's portrait is still visible and many details remain clear, but the coin definitely shows its age. Surprisingly, even with those imperfections, this quarter can still command huge money because rarity matters more than perfect appearance. The standard weight of a 1992 Washington quarter is approximately 5.67 grams. Serious coin collectors pay close attention to this because unusual weights can sometimes reveal striking errors or rare planche varieties. Even the smallest difference can make a collector extremely excited. Some rare coins were accidentally struck on the wrong metal blanks, creating quarters that look ordinary at first glance but are actually worth fortunes. Imagine someone searching through an old coin jar late at night. They separate pennies, nickels, and quarters without much interest. Then suddenly, they notice a 1992 quarter with a P mint mark. Something about the coin feels different. Maybe the strike looks sharper. Maybe the surface appears unusual. Out of curiosity, they weigh the coin and realize it matches one of the rare collectible varieties. That ordinary moment could lead to discovering a coin worth up to $40,000. That's exactly why collectors never stop checking their pocket change. Hidden treasures still appear in circulation every year. Many people believe all valuable coins were discovered long ago, but that's simply not true. Rare coins continue turning up in everyday places like cash drawers, piggy banks, garage sales, and inherited collections. What makes the 1992 Washington quarter especially fascinating is how modern it feels compared to older rare coins. When people hear about valuable coins, they often think about ancient silver dollars or coins from the early 1900s. But this quarter comes from the 1990s, a time many people clearly remember. That makes the discovery even more exciting because it feels possible that anyone could still find one. At major auctions, rare Washington quarters attract huge attention. Collectors study every detail carefully before bidding begins. Experts examine the coin's strike quality, surface texture, edge details, and overall appearance. Once authenticity is confirmed, the atmosphere changes instantly. Bidders compete aggressively because they know opportunities like this are extremely rare. The bidding climbs higher and higher. $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. Finally, the hammer drops near the incredible $40,000 mark. All for a coin that most people would normally spend without hesitation. Another reason collectors love this quarter is the thrill of the hunt. Every coin tells a story. This particular 1992 quarter traveled through countless hands over the years. It may have been carried in someone's pocket during an important moment in their life. It may have sat forgotten in a drawer for decades before finally being rediscovered. That sense of mystery adds excitement and emotion to coin collecting. If you want to search for one yourself, start by checking every 1,992 Washington quarter you can find. Look carefully for the P mint mark near George Washington's ponytail on the front of the coin. Examine the surfaces under bright light. Pay attention to unusual details, strong strikes, or anything that seems different from ordinary quarters. Using a small magnifying glass can help reveal tiny features collectors look for. A digital scale is also useful because the standard weight should be around 5.67 grams. Even slight differences may indicate something special. And one of the most important rules in coin collecting is simple: never clean your coins. Many beginners accidentally destroy value by trying to polish old coins until they shine. Professional collectors prefer natural surfaces, even if the coin looks worn or dirty. Cleaning can remove important texture and reduce the coin's auction value dramatically. Coin the 1,990 Washington quarter with a D mint mark. It has clearly been used in everyday circulation for years. The surface shows scratches, the shine has faded, and the edges reveal signs of wear from passing through countless hands. It sits in what collectors would call good condition. To almost everyone, it's just 25 cents. But what if that same quarter could actually be worth $30,000 in today's auction market? That's where this story becomes truly unbelievable. The Washington quarter has been part of American currency since 1932, honoring the first president of the United States, George Washington. Over the decades, billions of these quarters were produced, becoming one of the most commonly used coins in circulation. By 1990, the Denver Mint was striking massive numbers of quarters marked with the small D mint mark. These coins were everywhere: cash registers, vending machines, piggy banks, and pockets across the country. Because they were so common, most people never paid close attention to them. But hidden among those millions of ordinary quarters are a few rare examples that collectors dream about finding. Now take a closer look at this specific 1,990D Washington quarter. The coin clearly shows signs of circulation. Small scratches cover parts of the surface, the original shine is mostly gone, and the details are softened from years of use. George Washington's portrait remains visible on the front, while the eagle design on the reverse side can still be recognized despite the wear. To most people, it looks like nothing special. But experienced collectors understand that rarity often hides inside ordinary-looking coins. One of the first things experts examine is the coin's weight. A standard 1,990 Washington quarter should weigh approximately 5.67 grams. This detail may sound simple, but it is extremely important in the world of coin collecting. If the weight is even slightly different, it could indicate a minting error or unusual production issue. Some coins are accidentally struck on the wrong planchet, while others experience production flaws that change their structure or appearance. These small differences can completely transform the value of a coin. The real reason a coin like this can become so valuable lies in rare minting errors and unusual varieties. During production at the mint, even the smallest mistake can create a coin unlike millions of others. Some 1,990D Washington quarters have been discovered with doubled dies, where parts of the lettering or design appear duplicated. Others show off-center strikes, die cracks, clipped planchets, or unusual textures caused during minting. There are also rare cases where quarters are struck on incorrect metal blanks intended for other coins. The United States Mint uses strict quality control systems, so most flawed coins are detected before they ever leave the mint. But every once in a while, a few unusual coins escape into circulation unnoticed. Those are the coins that later become legendary among collectors. Now imagine the moment someone discovers this quarter. It might be sitting unnoticed in a jar full of loose change. Maybe it's found while cleaning out an old drawer or searching through pocket change after shopping. At first glance, it appears ordinary. But then something catches the eye. Maybe the lettering looks doubled. Maybe the strike alignment appears slightly off. Maybe the coin feels different in weight compared to other quarters. That tiny moment of curiosity changes everything. The coin is taken to experts for professional examination. Under magnification, the unusual details become much easier to identify. Specialists carefully inspect the strike quality, the lettering, and the overall structure of the coin. They compare it to official mint specifications and weigh it precisely. After detailed analysis, they confirm the coin carries a genuine minting error or rare variety. At that moment, the quarter transforms completely. What once looked like ordinary pocket change suddenly becomes a rare collectible with enormous value. The scratches and signs of wear no longer matter as much. Instead, they become part of the coin's story, proof that this hidden treasure survived years of circulation before finally being recognized. As news spreads through the coin collecting community, excitement begins to grow quickly. A rare 1990D Washington quarter with unusual characteristics is not something collectors encounter every day. Error. Coins and rare varieties from the modern era are especially exciting because they prove valuable discoveries are still possible in everyday circulation coins. Soon, the quarter is prepared for auction, where collectors and investors eagerly compete for ownership. The auction begins quietly, but excitement quickly builds. Bidders recognize the rarity of the coin and begin placing serious offers. The value rises from hundreds to thousands, then climbs even higher into the tens of thousands. Each new bid increases the tension and energy in the room. This is no longer just a quarter. It has become a rare piece of numismatic history. The unusual minting feature, combined with its rarity and verified authenticity, makes it one of the most talked about Washington quarters collectors have seen in years. The competition becomes intense as the auction reaches its final moments. Collectors continue pushing the price higher, determined not to lose the opportunity. Then, in a moment that feels almost unbelievable, the final bid reaches $30,000. A circulated 1990 Washington quarter with a D mint mark in good condition has transformed into a life-changing discovery. A coin once worth only 25 cents is now worth more than many vehicles, all because of one small detail most people would never notice. It's difficult to believe that such an ordinary-looking quarter could carry so much value. But that is the beauty of coin collecting. It proves that hidden treasures can exist in the most unexpected places. Value is not always determined by age or perfect condition. Sometimes rarity and unusual minting details matter far more. What makes this story even more exciting is the possibility that similar coins may still be out there. Hidden inside jars, drawers, old collections, or maybe even in your own pocket right now. Most people never examine their quarters closely enough to notice unusual details. But as this story proves, even the smallest difference can lead to an extraordinary discovery. If you ever come across a 1990 Washington quarter with a D mint mark, don't ignore it. Take a closer look at the design, the lettering, the strike, and even the weight. Even in good circulated condition with scratches and wear, it could still hold incredible value if it carries the right rare characteristics. A professional evaluation could reveal something truly surprising.